Okay, so today we're at Kuchai Lama, Kuchai Jaya, whatever you call this place, but this is 216 residence. And the reason why it's called 216 is because it's only 216 units, a very low dense property in the heart of Kuchai. So let's go check this place out. I'm somebody that is very familiar with this particular road over here, right? This is this very jam near Kuchai area whereby it leads you to Old Klang Road if you go further down the road over here. Now this place gets absolutely jammed around 5 p.m, 6 p.m. Basically it's jammed during peak hours, like crazy jam one. This one easily you get stuck there for like 15-20 minutes, no joke. And then guys, as you can see, right, because Kuchai Lama is actually situated on a very developed existing old township over here, so it's very obvious that you're going to see a lot of cars situated on the roadside over here. So when your driveway up in this area over here, when you get into your premise, you will see quite a fair bit of cars already blocking you. Okay, so now we just entered the visitor area over here, and one thing I really like is that the visitor car park is actually on the same floor, the ground floor itself. So, but for me, because I didn't know when I was coming over here, right, I parked at the adjacent plot of land over there so that it's free parking as well. Not sure we're gonna sama or not, but long story short is that I didn't want to take the risk, right? Because a lot of condos car park nowadays, visitor one at least, is on the 7th floor. I'm not going to spend 10-15 minutes just to spin my way up, right? So when you come over here instantaneously, this is the lobby itself. Now, of course, 216 logo is going to be across the entire development. And one thing I like instantaneously is that you can see they have a dedicated area for you to put food delivery items, and the guy is actually doing it right now. So not many condos actually incorporate this type of a little area for you to put that, right? So I like this. And that over there is also the parcel room area, which is quite convenient for the delivery man. So now we are at the lobby area. Now at this lobby area, one thing very nice is that they already have a centralized aircon over here, which is very cooling. In Malaysia hot weather, I don't mind waiting over here for my visitors or for my courier services to come. So this lobby, okay, very sizable for a 216 unit area. Okay, coming out from the lift lobby over here, now we're on the facility floor, which is on level 7. I'm very excited to see how this place pans out, right? Because it's a very small plot of land. I wonder how much facilities can they squeeze over here. But I like the fact that they actually use this type of finishing over here to kind of give it a little bit different vibe. So as you come up from the lift lobby over there, the first thing you will see is the kids playground. And I think this kids playground actually honestly quite sizable, and it has a bit of a unique feature going on over here. Like I never seen this before. Don't really know how you're supposed to play with it, but it's a quite interesting concept. And the playground wise, I think it's actually rather sizable and rather decent. Okay, so we are now at the games room, and in the games room, I like the fact that nowadays developments are actually starting to incorporate this little darts area. Now, obviously because the darts are over time are going to worn off, right? So it's advisable for you to bring your own dart, but the machine is actually operating one. So you just bring it and then just through. And now this area over here, I like how they actually use wallpaper to cover up the place, right? It actually looks very nice, very warm when you're feeling. But wallpaper typically has a bit of an issue over time. So 2-3 years down the road, if the place is very moist, right, it will start to peel off and it becomes a little bit worrying. So if you ask me, I personally still prefer like the normal regular paint with this type of color scheme, because this color scheme is actually very cozy, very nice. And this TV over here, if you want, right, you can actually just bring your PS, bring your Switch and whatnot, then you have a very cozy area to play games already. And if video games are not for you and you want to make more exercise, then you can come over here and play ping pong also. Not bad. Okay, so they actually have a business lounge area whereby it's a little bit smelly, and I think it's because they incorporated this type of what do you call the pahe beside that thing, tali. This tali over here is actually really smelly. The whole place just smells like this, right? But I think if they can remove that and just change the design language of it, right, then I think it's a rather convenient and rather nice space. But I do see why they incorporated this, just to kind of give it a different texture and building vibe in this room, right? But the smell is just cannot. But over here, okay I mean, if you have a function over here and you want to have friends over for maybe like a little dinner or like a corporate event, you can do it over here as well, no issues. So we are now at the swimming pool. Obviously this one, they actually try to sinuate this infinity pool vibe But the view of the infinity pool also not to say the nicest because it's actually facing this older commercial area and older landed properties area. But if you ask me, right, this swimming pool enough to use or not? Definitely enough lah. It's not Olympic size, okay, but bear in mind this is also a very small development. Plot land is very small. It's less than an acre if I'm not mistaken. So okay lah, got these facilities. Okay, so there's an event hall area over here that is also connected to the multi-purpose hall where you can do the AGM lah. Now I just want to show you this real quick, right, because it's actually quite sizable, quite nice when you look of it over here, right. But now the odd thing is that for the deposit over here is actually 500 ringgit, you know. Want to book this place, 500 ringgit, mahal nama pui. And this 500 ringgit, right, 300 ringgit is cannot claim back one. Is basically you pay for the event hall space. What? And then 200 ringgit is for deposit, which you can get back later if there is no issues lah. And this over here is the multi-purpose hall lah. This multi-purpose hall, because it's not too big, right, it cannot be coupled as a badminton court or whatnot. It's just really a space. So AGM was held here last time as well. But yeah, that's pretty much what we have in this section over here lah. And of course, the gym is on the far side over here. Let's go check that place out right now. So we're now at the gym room over here, and you can tell that the gym room is actually rather well equipped, especially for the size that you actually have, right? And the design language is overall themed the same lah. So essentially, the wall panels over here, the selection of the laminated timber is all the same. And you can see gym equipments are also well equipped lah. So for you to do a full workout over here, I think it's still doable. But if you're those gym junkie and you need heavier weights, right, this one maximum is 25 only, like other condos lah. So gym, okay. So guys, no lie over here, it's really stated black and white, even right outside the event hall, right. Only for 5 hours, 500 ringgit, 300 ringgit is per session, cannot claim back, 200 ringgit is deposit. My God, I think this is one of the more expensive event halls you can get in the market. Okay, I'm washing my hands on the level 7 facility floor toilet common area. And now I gotta say that this toilet is nothing too fancy, design language wise also got a little bit, but more importantly, my favorite, sauna room. Ah, okay, interesting. What are these panels for? I'm not too sure. This is the first time I've seen this. But the sauna room sizable enough to fit 4 other dudes lah, like 1, 2, 3, 4 lah, 4 people lah, not 5 lah. So okay lah, not too bad. Okay, so I just came up from the lift. Lift is not too bad. Branded lift over there, I can't remember. I think it's Toshiba. But coming over here, right, I think the walkway to your unit is actually quite concerning, because if you look at this, right, I don't know if you guys can hear it. This is banyak nipis punya besi lah. And I'm really concerned, right, because this is actually facing open air, which means rainwater will kena this one. And over time, this is already going to berkarat. And you can see over here, it's already rusting up lah. And now this one over here, when you push it, okay, I'm not applying a lot of force over here, right? But you can see that it's already kind of a loose one, you know. So over time, I believe this is going to be a potential hazard lah. And also, this is not a very high up punya railing, right? So I think this is something that they can take note, maybe can rectify lah. Better be safe than sorry, right? So this is also one of the cost-saving methods developer use, right? Basically avoiding to put this plaster ceiling over here, which actually to me, if they paint it like such with the ceiling height, right, it's still bearable because it's not so much of an eyesore lah. You kind of blend in with the ceiling color. It's okay. But I've been to some other condos, they straight away just leave it not painted, and then you can really see the black color, blue color piping, which is damn annoying. Now why they do this is also for 2 other reasons. Number 1, because you can save costs on plaster ceiling, and number 2, when there's maintenance or repair work, right, instantaneously very easy to spot. Whereas if let's just say it's covered by plaster ceiling, right, you potentially need to cut lah, open the hole, go and find which is the area, right. But this one over here, your eyes look like this also, oh, straight away I know this side error, this side error. Very easy to go and rectify. So personally, I feel that this one actually is not too bad, not too painful. So we are now at the unit itself, and you can see over here, the developer actually provided them with this kitchen cabinet, top and bottom lah. Both also signature kitchen brand, which is actually very good quality, right? And then they decided to put on this little island over here that mimics the same of this one lah. So it's actually quite nice in terms of how they actually put this layout over here, because the space when you come in over here, right, is not really sizable enough for you to actually put like a proper dining table. So instead of using that, they just put this kitchen island over here lah. To me, I like this concept. Okay, so the odd thing is that because this particular kitchen cabinet was designed over here, right, they didn't have enough space to put your refrigerator, which is odd, so they had to put it over here. But I think more importantly, right, I love the fact that this particular development, they went with this design or like color tone, right, for the window panels over here. Because most of the developers in the market will just put on the black color one. This one is a little bit different. It mimics the exterior facade of the design, and more importantly, because this one is actually facing morning sun, right, so in the morning it gets rather hot. And you can see over here, they put tinted lah, which I think more people should consider, or more developers should really include them if they know that this is facing morning sun or afternoon sun, because Malaysia's weather is just goddamn hot, man. The other thing is also that the developer even included laminated flooring for all the rooms itself, which personally I feel that more developers should also consider doing this, because if you have aircon running and you step on tiles, right, banyak sejuk. With laminated flooring, it's much more comfortable to get off lah. And this side over here is where your AC latch is actually at lah. It's for you to also dry your clothes and whatnot. But this area, I just want to give you a bit more context, right? This side over here are all landed leasehold properties where you can see some commercial area going on as well lah. And that over there is the condo that we have just reviewed not long ago called Kuchai Central. So Kuchai Central is also much more expensive and a bit more high dense with a bit of commercial component downstairs lah. So when you stay over there, two things are going to be more expensive. Number one is your water bill is going to be more expensive. Electric bill can be converted if it's HDA. And one last thing is your assessment is going to be more expensive lah. So when you stay in a residence, do consider this information. Is it a commercial title or is it a residential title lah? Okay, the other day also when we were at Kuchai Central, right, I got little context about that yellow color building over there. So that yellow color building, that one that is completely abandoned right now, right, it was actually abandoned since day one, you know. From my understanding from the owner over here who has been living in Kuchai for her entirety of her life, right, she told me that this particular developer, right, didn't get CF and then they went ahead and built until today, abandoned sampai sekarang. So just imagine 30-40 years just like that, not being used, not being utilized at all. That is a complete eyesore lah. So I hope that somebody comes in and refurbish it. It can be used as a pickleball court, a sports hall, or maybe like a little commercial area also, because there's so much residents residing in this location already. Okay, so 216 obviously comes with a lot of benefits and also a lot of amenities, right? One of them is actually the gas station right now, which is Petron Station. And I also park my car over here, rather convenient lah. Now, many people would also be concerned about this gas station being right next to your property. I don't know, personally I don't mind because I like the convenience. And very similar in Platinum Arena, my house also has the BHP station right in front of my house, right? So I'm perfectly fine with that, but some people might be concerned about it lah. I don't know, you decide. Okay, as we were about to head out this particular condo, right, the owner actually did mention to us, this particular condo has this very weird design language for this car park lah. Now this one comes with tandem car park. If you are on the 20th floor and below, 20th floor and above, your car park is side by side. And if you're on the smaller layout, right, 600 plus square feet one, you only have one car park. So the car park over here, I also understand why, because it's on a very small plot of land, right? But this is very important when you actually look for a property purchase. Make sure you know what your parking lot going to look like, right? Because not many people actually talk about it. They always say you are the two car park. Now the two car park can be side by side or can be tandem. Now in this case over here, you can see it's tandem near car park lah. So essentially this is very annoying because I used to live in a condo with tandem car park some more. And I'm a guy that drive manual when you can. So when my girlfriend want to leave the place, I need to wake up, go downstairs, remove my car first, then they come out again. So you must make sure on your SMP, what is your car park layout and setting, right? If it's different from the SMP, then you can obviously go to the developer and sue them lah. Okay, so this is to conclude 216 residents over here. And to me personally, this particular location is actually very strategic. And I think that's the reason why a lot of these owners that reside this area, right, are also still from this area particularly. Like the Kuchai people or the people that stay in Old Klang Road will want to stay back in this area because of its convenience and the quote-unquote BMW car lah. Okay, so essentially there is also a bus station, an MRT station, and it is also all walkable. So that's the reason why you get this BMW concept lah. So the owner that resides over here, right, they just go downstairs, walk to the bus station, and then go to the train, and then you can get to your office already. very convenient. So personally, if I were to want to stay in Kuchai, right, I think this is a particular development that I would consider because it's very, very low dense, number one. And number two, it doesn't have a lot of this bells and whistle facility in the area lah. Because facilities means more maintenance fee in the future. And to me, I don't want to be paying more money for that lah. Okay, but this is also considering the fact that you can accept this older commercial area, or older housing estates in this area lah. Because when you look over here in this direction, right, these are like those older walkout apartments that are not so appealing to certain people lah. Now for me personally, I don't mind too much because these older things are also the convenience that you get. Because in this particular area, there's a lot of amenities like makan punya tempat lah. So if I were to stay here, I don't need much big of a kitchen because I can just go downstairs and eat lah. And of course, location-wise, right, I can tell you straight off the bat, that is TRX, that is PNB 118, right? So location is still very strategic. And Cheras, which is our office over there, RT Cheras next door, can even be seen over here. So location is June. But this is it. Don't listen to any advice from like the guy online, right? So make your own decision, make your own call. As always, we'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.